Okay, this is another question for men. I was in Trader Joe's the other day, and there was a man in there, so cute. We probably smiled at each other 4 different times throughout the store. And I am a Southern girl, and I don't approach men first, but I will smile and whatever. But this man was not saying anything to me. He even got in line behind me and was smiling, and I was just like, I don't know what else to do here. And I think women have made it so increasingly difficult and uncomfortable for men to approach us in public spaces that good men won't even say something, even when I've made it very clear, like, hey, I'm smiling at you all over the store. Like, I think you are attractive and I would like to talk to you. Like, they won't do it. So, like, what should I say to a man like that I have smiled at 4 times, but I don't know where to take it any further? Because, like, I'm willing to try anything, y'all, okay? Help me out. Help a sister out.
If a woman is darker than you, that's not for you?
Oh, wait. But he can still have his preference, though.
I believe in preferences, but when it comes down to, like, colorism at the end of the day, because that's what it is, I don't rock with that. I don't. And that is a deal breaker for me.
Okay, but wait. We gotta be clear. Because is it colorism or is it preference?
Well, I think your preference is based in colorism at the end of the day.
So is that similar to when a woman says that I don't want a guy that's under 6 foot, though?
Well, I can't speak on that because that's not how I stand. Like,
okay.
If a woman says that, then that's on her, but that's not on me because I don't rock that.
What do you think about everything that she said?
I don't think nothing of it. I honestly don't care.
That boy say, wrap this up.
I hate when black women be like complaining about how black men treat them, and then they think that getting a white man gonna save them. Like, girl, if you can't get no certain caliber of black man, then you definitely not about to get a white man. Stop.
Okay, for men who like women, at what point in the acquaintanceship, relationship, dating phase would you want to know that the woman you are pursuing is in the adult industry? Would that be like a first conversation thing, like a first in-person thing, or like, please never ever tell me?
I'm gonna need you to tell me on the phone. Tell me on the phone. Tell me on the phone. Right? I'm not gonna spend no money on somebody that I don't like. No, absolutely not. Tell me on the phone.
Guess what? Been acting a fool all summer. Now when the fall comes around, nobody's bringing your ass to the pumpkin patch. Dwell in that misery because you wanted to rounds all summer. Now nobody's bringing you to the pumpkin patch. Know that. Fucking know that. And then when the Grinch pajama season starts in December, you're again because you wanted to around all summer. Bye.
Gianna, I'm not 100% sure you got any room to talk. I don't know what I don't know what you guys got going on. Like, I'm just, let's be honest now. If somebody looked at you and they saw this, they would think that you was outside too. Come on now. What is this? I mean, well, that's nice. I ain't gonna lie about that. Oh man, come on, man. You on a yacht? I mean, or maybe not a yacht, but a boat. Come on, man. What you doing? Nah, that's nice. I ain't gonna lie about that. That's nice. That looks good. I ain't gonna lie. That looks good. Here we go again. Here we go. Miami. All right. Girl, what we got going on? What we got going on here? Girl, nah. Listen, man.
I'm still processing. Tonight, a guy friend of mine yelled at me to shut the fuck up and let him talk. And this is a nice guy, right? I could have this, I'll probably have another video between nice and kind. But I was absolutely shocked. We were talking about the T app, and I could tell it was coming from a very emotional place and projections from his part, and I was just sharing the women experience and why something like the T app exists. 10% goes to the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and he was arguing how for men, you know, if a woman doesn't like a man, he can easily slander him and things like that. And I was explaining to him, yes, that's the case, but you can compare that to women survivors who go to court, and the court is usually not on the side of survivors. And so we already have so many things that aren't on our side. And so when we have an app, I'm stumbling around my words because I'm still like processing. I don't do well with men who react that way from my history. And so,
type of chick's so
but
annoying.
the app was created for women to support women. You could put green flags on there, you could put red flags, but it felt like he didn't hear anything I was saying. How there's potential slander versus women's safety, right? Domestic violence. Men are the apex predator for women, and most of unaliving comes from men against their partners. And so it kind of even proved a point. And also the point of, I was just debating, sharing my part, and it was getting him very frustrated to the point where he's an impassioned person, right? But then it tipped over and he yelled at me and said, shut up. And the girls that were there, one girl stepped away and the other girl was sitting, and they were shocked too. So being a guy friend, he did catch himself and then he apologized. And but it's when you go over the edge and that happens, it's not okay. And this is why emotional regulation is really important. And I'm proud of myself to tell him I didn't freeze. My past self would have frozen. I immediately said, that is not okay. You need to step back, cool down. I don't think we should have this conversation anymore. He didn't, and he just paused. And then he continued with the conversation on a calmer note. So that wasn't truly boundary honoring. Guy friend. When guy friends are the guys that have been teaching me and showing me that it is a safe place. Yet, full circle makes the point, which he was not listening to. So it adds to men not listening to women. Why women are threatened by men. And why there's fear and emotional regulation, saying that women are more emotional.
My boyfriend has a very big issue with my past. He found my list of people I have been with, and he was pissed. He actually broke up with me initially, but after a while, we got back together. The issue now is, I feel like he is constantly making judgmental comments about me being easy or having a high body count. He always says he's just kidding, but how can I get him to stop caring that I was with guys before him? I feel like every single girl has a list of the guys she's ever been with. Like, how fun. I remember the men that have been inside of me, and I have a husband, and that's okay. This sounds like...
Okay, well, first of all, that's crazy, and I can reassure you that not every single girl has a list of guys that have been inside of her. That's disgusting. But let's clear something up. Being proud of a list isn't empowerment. It's just evidence of how deeply hookup culture has twisted what's sacred. Saying you remember all the men that have been inside of you and that's okay. No, it's not okay, and that's definitely not maturity. That's not freedom. That is brokenness dressed up as confidence. And no, your man isn't insecure for being bothered. He's a man. And he's a man with standards, a man who values loyalty, exclusivity, and a man that values a woman that takes intimacy seriously. And again, that's not control, that's conviction. And yes, the beautiful thing is that God can redeem anything. But don't mock the grace he gives you by glorifying the sin that he died on the cross to save you from. The thing is that freedom, it doesn't look like pride. It looks like repentance. At the end of the day, yeah, I'm sure we've all made mistakes. But let's not pretend like those mistakes are trophies.
Well, it doesn't alarm me that you remember, like, who's been inside you. When you think about it, like, okay, well, I know that dude. I know this dude. I know that dude. But you guys really got to get better at communication. Not you specifically, but these modern women. Because you say it like you're saying, like a badge of honor. Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember all of these. I remember that. And the man's like, ugh. I mean, why do you even have a list? That's weird.
Let us walk to the top, man.
What's your job again? What do you do for work?
I work in aerospace.
Are you open to doing like new things?
Oh yeah, I'm with that. Yeah.
Like if I said let's go zip line, you go, all right, bet.
I mean, I already skydived last year, so that ain't nothing to me. I'm with this. Let's jump out of planes, whatever. I'm with.
Are you okay with me yapping? Because I be talking nonstop and I will not
I like to
ask
debate.
you any questions about you.
I like to debate, so you want to yap? I can yap too.
So like date coaching me just tells me she's not interested in you. Like you
But
should just pop
she
the
has
balloon.
to say that.
No,
She
you
has to
have
say
to
that.
be in your masculine friend.
I need you to put your foot down.
My foot is down. It's up to you. I can't make a decision for you. You're an adult at the end of the day.
Yo, so
If you want to pop it.
Thank you for doing that, bro, because I don't know what she was up to.
You will know if you are talking to a good man if he agrees with you in the things that you have to say about how men treat women in the patriarchy. Okay, the ones that get defensive, the ones that get mad, the ones that say not all men are guilty. Hit dogs holler.
I mean, dogs are territorial, so they would be hollering then or barking. If somebody startled them or they were scared, then they would holler then. Obviously, pain and discomfort, loneliness and separation. They seek attention, they want to play, they're excited. Communication with other dogs, defensive instinct, confusion. There's a plethora of reasons that dogs would holler. Might be that maybe the dog is using the defense right now. Wait, you're talking about all men? That doesn't make sense. Maybe you should go back to the drawing board and really see which men are the problem, instead of blaming all of us. Maybe that's why the dog hollered in this situation.
Alright, serious question to my men out there. Why am I not wifed up? Why am I not wifed the up? Are we both looking at this? Look at my art. Look at what I did. What? It also has like 47 grams of protein.
That looks good, I ain't gonna lie.
This is a story that a girl told that I think about all the time. She was at the mall, she didn't have her hair done, nails done, face done, didn't have on a great outfit, but she's the type of girl who's always done up. A man comes up to her at the mall, he says, "You're so beautiful, I'd love to get to know you more, like let's exchange information." She thinks he's attractive, but she turns him down. Her reasoning was the most mind-blowing thing ever to me. She said that because he was interested in her while she looked a little bit run down and unkept, she knows that that man is not her type. The type of man she likes would never go for a woman who does not look well kept. And that makes perfect sense. The type of woman that a man goes for will determine if he's actually your type. You are lying if you say that you couldn't look at a list of women that a man has been with and say, oh yeah, you're not gonna like me. Because you know what type of women are similar to you and which aren't. She was saying, if you like me while I look like this, you don't like me for real. Because this isn't how I usually look. This is the exception. You aren't gonna like the rule. It has literally stuck with me forever. So I wanted to share.
I mean, I personally think that this sounds stupid, but I could be wrong.
This is what I'm talking about. Men are such narcissists. How dare you guys get my page in views and likes and shares up over 200,000K in less than 48 hours? How dare you guys do that? I don't need your help. I am a strong, independent black woman, okay? I don't need the help of a sassy pants narcissistic man, okay? Keep your shit to yourself. But while we're on the topic of men, okay, we're back to know what I've learned in my second week of not being a pick-me. Let's go. Number one, girl, if he can't outperform that rose, let that go. Is that right? Yeah, that's what I learned. So if he can't do better than the rose, he gotta hit the doze, okay? Number two of what I learned in my second week of not being a pick-me. If he doesn't instantly offer to pay for your hair and your nails and groceries for your kids, or even if you're pumping gas, if he doesn't offer to pay that gas right then and there, even though he does not know you, let him go. He's a brokey. Yeah, because your stuff deserves to get paid for because of whatever random reason. I don't know yet. Number three. It is better to pay 100% of my bills by myself than to go 50-50 with a man. Because why the hell would I go 50-50 when I can go 100-100? Yeah, that girl math. Let it sink in, buckos.
Number 4, cooking and cleaning are strictly wifely duties. If you are doing that, stop it right now. He does not deserve that because you guys are not married. However, girl, don't get it twisted. You do deserve to go on trips still and for him to buy you things. Like, be so for real. Like, you know, like, those two don't even equate. Like, if he's having sex with you, like, you should just be getting stuff regardless. You know, like, even if you live in the house, he should come home from work and he should cook and clean for you because you are a queen, girl. And again, we've reached my favorite, number 5, on how not to be a pick-me. Oh no, girl, we spent all our money on lace fronts and Blackie Miles, and now we have no money to go eat. Let's call a random man that we don't like and have him go take us to eat. And then, yeah, I don't remember the rest. God damn it. But basically, if you're hungry, girl, go out to eat with a man you don't like, but it better not be a coffee date because those are for brokies and bums.
Well, you know you joking around now. They gonna call you a pick me anyway.
So right before I broke up with my boyfriend, I met this other guy who honestly checked me so hard, and it was, yeah, he contributed to me like realigning and being the reason why I broke up with my boyfriend. Now, I want to make it clear that I do not know who this man is. I don't have his number or his Instagram. I think his name was Christian. Either way, like, this is what happened. I've never heard this. After 40 minutes of talking to this man in this networking event, he tried to kiss me. And I said, whoa, I have a boyfriend. And he said, wow, I cannot believe that you just let me have 40 minutes of your undivided attention while having a boyfriend. Now that told me 2 things. There are men out there that know what it means to be a man and what it means to be in a relationship. But also, this is his line. He said, the constitution of a relationship is based off of men and women not even allowing themselves to get to that place of having someone that close attention-wise. Like, there was nothing physical, there was no flirting. It was literally just that. So it made me realize that you can lower your standards based off of the person that you're with by just because you're comfortable with it, like you're secure or whatever. But that doesn't mean that you have to. Like, you're just not respecting the relationship to the extent that you should have. So yeah, getting checked by a guy like that was honestly gave me lots of hope, but it was also really painful to see that I had stoked down, what is it? Bowed down to that level. And yeah, you don't have to put up with that shit. Like, from yourself.
You don't really need to worry about chapstick right now. You need to worry about why you think that it's your ex-boyfriend's fault that you got yourself into that situation. You're a terrible person.
Men are getting better at clocking us. I don't know how to feel. Like, literally, I was messing with this one boy, and I kept doing this thing where I would stop texting him at like 6, 7 o'clock at night, and then I would text him again the next morning, hey, good morning. And I guess I did a few too many times for his liking. Because he wasn't even freaking, like, he was like, yeah, you need to stop doing it. And I was like, what? And he, like, literally sent me, like, a whole paragraph of what I've been doing and how I need to stop and this, that, and third. And then I was like, okay, like, that's my bad, right? So, accidentally, I did it literally 2 times, like, in a row right after, like, literally, like, the next 2 days. And then, again, and then I texted him, I was like, dang, like, are you mad at me? Because mind you, when I texted him back that, like, at the next morning, he literally didn't reply to me for, like, 5 hours. I'm like, yeah, like, this man's mad, right? So, I texted him, and he gonna say, well, what's the point of even telling you how I feel if you're not gonna change this and third? I was like, dang, hold on. Now I really feel clocked. He was like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. I was like, oh, yeah, now I feel terrible. Y'all getting too good at this. No.
A few too many times? Why were you doing it at all? That's weird.
I finally understand why so many men are resentful toward beautiful women. And I mean this sincerely, because my ultimate dream is to be a stay-at-home mom and just cook and clean and do Pilates all day, every day, like that is the pinnacle for me. And that is an aspirational yet attainable goal for me and for women like me, because all I have to do is fall in love and get married. Like there's like a 50-50 chance of that happening in my life. And whereas if I were a beautiful man, the likelihood of me having that same lifestyle is slim to none. Like, you can be a beautiful man and still have to work your freaking butt off. And that realization just occurred to me, and it makes me so sad. And I'm not even taking into consideration the majority of men, which the majority of men are average looking. So they can't even access a beautiful woman unless they are successful or hilarious. So when you see all these women accumulate exorbitant wealth or have this amazing lifestyle all due to their beauty, how do you not end up growing this like insidious resentment and bitterness toward that group of people? And I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it sucks, it's unfair, and I get it.
I honestly think that you probably need to go outside and touch grass right now.
Okay, I need to know if I'm overestimating or underestimating the strength of an average man, because in my mind, like, just for background, for preface, or I don't know, just for background, I weight train. I consider myself to be like a healthy, like I'm pretty strong, you know? But in my mind, I feel like I wouldn't stand a chance even against the most average man. And I mean an average man. I don't mean like a super scrawny 120 pounds. Even then, that's kind of like, I don't know, because they're born in testosterone. So I feel like it would be ignorant of me to ever try to square up with a man, even though the thought of it gets my blood going. Like it does something to me. It really just gets my blood going. Anyway, so that's why I carry. And I'm not afraid to admit it, because even the most average of men would I would be done for. I would be done for. I wouldn't stand a chance. Like, and I learned that when my brother turned 14, and I was like, oh, you can throw me now? What do you mean? So, I don't know. Is it just me?
You're correct. You are correct. Absolutely 100%.
You ever chilled with somebody and they ain't try to hit and you was like, oh, I'm ugly. Now, that must be such a way of thinking, but I hung out with this one time, and he the first person who showed me who Dr. Umar was. He was like this cool, like low-key ass. He wasn't really hood, but he lived in the hood, and he invited me over. So I forgot what the documentary was called. I think it's called Colors, or Behind the Hidden Colors, or Behind the Hidden Lights, or Behind the Star Spangled Banner. I forgot what it was called, but Dr. Umar was in there, and he was explaining everything about Jesus, all that. For real. So, you know how long the documentary is? We watched the whole thing. No moves was made. I literally sat up in his bed, Indian style, against my back against the wall. And he sat on the other side with no shirt on and some basketball shorts, interested in having dialogue with me. Netflix. I think Netflix had came out, or maybe it was the red box. Or maybe I don't know what we was doing. We was pirates on the internet. But for you to watch a 3.5 hour documentary, 4 hours, and you not even try not one thing, not a rub, not a cuddle, not a nothing, you won't like me. I hung out with him again. He reminded me of Andre 3000. I think that's why I liked him. We watched another movie all the way through, and that's when I said, garbage, yo, I'm not for him. I'm straight. Like the letter I. Straight. Like the L. Straight. Cause that was some I don't like you type. I'm tripping.
I mean, don't worry about it. Most modern women think this exact same way.
Men, when you ask a woman out for coffee, I feel like this is what you think. When they decline, I think you're like, well, see, they only wanted my money. and they think that I don't have anything, and I just didn't want to go out with someone who wants me for my money. So now that she canceled, I know that she was a gold digger. That's what I think you're thinking. Women are thinking this. Hey, he invited me for a cup of coffee. I know through other men who are teaching women how to invest in themselves and find a partner who actually wants to go out with them and get to know them, has told me this is very low value. I have to decline this because this person doesn't value me and probably goes out with a bunch of other people for coffee, and I want someone who's making an investment up front and shows me that they care and put some thought into this date.
So the only way to do that would be to go on a more expensive date, which would then have to do with money. Unless, of course, you take a picnic. The man said, "Oh, the picnic, you take that," but it would also have to be a picnic that was well thought out. It was well planned. He couldn't just bring a sandwich and chips. He'd have to have like your blanket. That much is nice. That's a classic. He'd have to have the picnic basket. That much is nice. Now the flowers. Maybe you can get like a $5 flower or whatever they're from, I don't know, Publix or something like that. And then the wine. The wine could not be cheap. It has to be like probably a mid-range wine. You know, at least, let's say, $20-$30, right, for wine. And then you have some little snacks here and there. But then also you have to have a main course. You have to have something that's heated up. Well, you could kind of heat it up, right? It's already heated up. It's got a warmer right there, so you can pull it out, and maybe some, I don't know, something really nice. Not a steak, but it's got to be something that's well thought out and well planned. So basically, you want the man spending the entire day planning this date out is what you want. The man could be working. The man could be doing a lot of things, but you want the man this entire day to be focused on you. And it's just not practical because he doesn't know you. So what he's trying to do with a coffee date is he's trying to get to know you so he can invest more into you. Logically speaking, it doesn't make sense to throw all my eggs in like one basket, like just go full speed. Doesn't make sense to do that. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
I just saw the video of the girl being like, I think I know why there's a male loneliness epidemic right now, and it's because of this story. And she like goes on to explain like an interaction between a husband and a wife and like their kids, and it was the wife's birthday, and like the husband just like wasn't doing anything, whatever. Like so many of us girls have stories like that of like things that we've witnessed in other people's relationships or our parents' relationships where it's like, oh my God, like I don't want this to be my life. Like, may this lifestyle and may this type of love never find me because it's miserable. My personal story is, well, one of them is when I was nannying in LA, and we used to go to this park like every single day, and I met another mom there. And we would see each other like almost every day. So we just like started chatting, and the way that she would describe her life and her relationship made me like sick to my stomach. Essentially, her and her husband got married 10 years ago, and they had a great relationship. They had a bunch of mutual friends. Her business was, she like owns her own business. Her business was thriving. So like money was never a concern. It was never a worry, and everything was great. So they got married, had kids. With the added stressors of having kids, they also recently lost their house in the Palisades fire, which is so devastating. So with those kinds of added stressors, it's put a huge strain on their relationship. And in those stressful situations, she's basically realized that her husband is lazy. He doesn't provide financial, well, he does like work, but she makes more than him. He's just not very nice to her. She does all of the household tasks, like will do all the taxes, like all the finance stuff, all the like insurance, signing her kids up for doctor's appointments, like signing them up for preschool, like all that house admin is on her. Since they lost their house in the Palisades fire, they can't afford a nanny anymore, so she has had to step up and be the full-time childcare provider. The way that she was talking about her life, like you could just tell that she felt so trapped and miserable, and like she has kids with this person. Like, she will be tied to this man for the rest of her life. Just like served as such a reminder of like, okay, the person that you're dating is going to be the person that you co-parent with. It's going to be the person that you know, run a household with. Like, you will be sharing all those responsibilities. So make sure that they are able to step up to the plate and not leave all the responsibility of your family, of your household, of your finances on you.
I see y'all get on here lying. The first chink in your armor when you was about to lie and said he does work. Well, he does work, but you know, he doesn't make as much as she does. What does it have to do with anything? Y'all are losers. You just told me that you were a loser.
There are some women who are walking in a degree of self-righteousness that is putting them in the position to get rid of men that are actually good. You just think they're not good enough for you.
Whew, talk about it. Your little pretty face. Say it again.
The questions I've heard, it can just come across like, yeah, he don't read enough Bible, or he doesn't, know a lot of theology, or he doesn't make as much money, or da 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 da. Yeah. And it's like, you want to marry King David, Jesus, but you don't want to marry the David that was anointed but not crowned yet. You want the crown David, not the shepherd boy David, who was anointed, just not positioned. And I just feel like that's something we need to deal with. Right. And one of the things I heard from my old therapist, she had a client who was frustrated with her husband. She had just got married. They was married, 6 months. And she was frustrated with her husband, and she kept comparing her husband to her dad. And she was saying, he doesn't lead like my dad. He doesn't care for me like my dad. He doesn't nurture like my dad. He doesn't do this like my dad. And she went to her mom and was like, I'm so frustrated with my husband because she's not like my dad. And she was like, well, that's not fair. She was like, because your dad is not the husband that I married when I married him. He became that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not fair to compare who your dad is after he's been married for 30 years to who your husband is after you've been married to him for 6 months. And I think women have to have the humility to say, he may not be perfect, but is there some healthy potential there that the Lord actually may be calling me to cultivate? I'm not saying, because there's some men who have no potential and you're just delusional and placing potential there. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying there might be men who actually have potential there that he's calling. Like, there were things in Preston, this isn't shade, this is reality. There were things in Preston that were not going to bear fruit until he married me. And I think that is
shade. That's actually facts.
But that's marriage. That's what it means to be a helper. I think some women just have to humble themselves. You want King David, you might have the David in the wilderness, not the David on the throne yet.
Honestly, I don't think that they would have been able to handle David on either side. Because when he was out in the field, he was talking trash. When he was going to pick up the stones before he was going out there to Goliath, he was talking trash. I'm already talking. You gonna hear me today. And anybody got something to say about it? Let's get it. Now, David, after he was crowned, well, he did a lot of great stuff. But then he did a lot of other stuff too. The man was in the street dancing. He was dancing his clothes off in the street. And his wife was sitting up at the top. This is the king now, anointed king now, up at the top, laughing at him. All these women trying to get with David. All these women trying to be with David, seeing him dancing in the street. She's already with him, laughing at him. Of course, you got Bathsheba, he was messing around a little bit with that. He shouldn't have done that. So, maybe I guess they would have wanted David after the crown, because, that's the type of, they would have been drawn to that bad boy image. They just wouldn't have liked him when he straightened up, right? So, there it is. They actually really don't want David. They want Job. That's who they want. They want a rich man. A man that got all the fields. What the Bible say? All of his children were beautiful. I got all the money. I got all that. That's what they want, without the trial. Without all the trouble. We don't want all the children passing away. We don't want the sickness We don't want all that, because when that happened, when all that stuff happened to Job, what his wife say? You might as well go ahead and turn it in. Might as well go ahead and give it up. Go ahead and let it go. That's what they said. You're supposed to be a help mate. You're supposed to be helping. Lot's wife. Maybe he wasn't the richest guy, but he had a little bit. He had a little bit. Was told to get out of a city. All right, you guys need to evacuate. So they running. Wife say, you know what? I want what's back there. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the past. Look at what I'm losing. You're supposed to be a help mate. That's what she's saying. You guys don't want, y'all just want the king. Y'all don't want the man that was building. Y'all don't want the dirty, filthy, stinky shepherd that was out there tending sheep. You don't want that. I mean, they couldn't handle him anyway because he was out there working. They couldn't even they couldn't even handle him when he was on the throne because the man was out there doing stuff. He was a busy dude. Oh, when you gonna have time to spend with me? I'm busy. Shut up. I'm working. I got business to tend to. Either you're gonna help, you're gonna sit down here and nag, move out the way. As a matter of fact, wasn't it David's son that talked about, or somebody in the Proverbs that talked about, it's better for you to be in the corner of a rooftop than with a contentious wife. It's better for you to be in the corner of a house than dwell with an unruly woman. That's what you ladies are. Unruly. Can't be pleased. Not gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be satisfied, God, until you give me the exact man I want, and I ain't lowered my standards, not even for you. Boy, I got this man right here. Ordained by me, I don't want him. He ain't 6 feet, 6 figures. Only way I take him, he's under 6 feet. Only way I'll take him is he's got to make $500,000. He's got to be one of the best looking men out there in the world. And that best looking man has to give all his attention to me. And I'm not just talking about, well, he looks good to me. I'm talking about all my women, or all the ladies in my circle, everybody, they gotta love him. I'm talking about, if you put that man on TV, he could be a model. You put that man on TV, he could be on the magazine cover of Sexiest Man Alive. That's the kind of man that I want. If I'm going to follow what you told me to do. That's what they like, man. They losers.
Sisters, I tell you, this whole coffee date thing really got me concerned about some of you single black women. Listen to Auntie Angela. I'm 54. Let me just hip you onto something, okay? Jesus. The whole point of a date, when a man asks you out, is first he's showing interest. And with men, most men, they're not going to offer to spend a dime on you if they're not interested in you. Do you understand? After a man gets to know you and he really is falling for you, honey, he will give you whatever you want without even asking. That's just how the heart of a man is once you've gained his heart. But he's not going to go out here and spend goo gobs of money on you, and he don't even really know your middle name. Sis, he asking you for coffee. See, the problem is some of you all, especially you youngins, you sisters in your 20s, and I don't know how old that woman was, but you all, he got to buy me this and he got to have this money. Shut your stupid young mouth up. Just shut up. The whole point of getting together with someone is, one, to share and love and life together, to make it easier. 2, you can build together. You simple-minded young women who talking about he got to have this and he got to have all this. What do you have besides a vagina? We all got that, women. Besides that, what else do you have? Oh, some of you sisters ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, you want this man to have all this, do all that. Your simple ass can't even cook. You can't clean. You can't hold a conversation. What's the last book you read? Can you manage a checkbook? Can you pay bills? Hell, do you know how to raise children? Like, come on. What are you doing with yourself? Again, but you got good WAP? Come on, please. After a certain age, WAP is just WAP. Coffee. You will turn down a decent man. And some of y'all are single. Let me tell you another reason some of y'all are single. I want a man, and he got to be saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized, running for his life for Jesus. You know what you want? You want another woman, or you want a gay man in the church. Men are not going to express the emotion all the time that you will in church, running through the church, shouting in the church, dancing through the church. But that man may still silently love God as much or more so than you do. But you so simple-minded and churched. You want a husband. My husband, I want to be like Pastor. You don't know Pastor going home whooping First Lady's ass or cheating on her with another boy in the church. Well, you sisters don't want to hear this. Some of y'all are single because you turn down good men because they're not saved enough. Girl, please. You so crazy. As long as he loves God and has a respect for the Creator and respects you, you sound like a fool. And then there are you delusional heifers. Well, his job ain't. If he drives a trash truck, he has a job at benefits. Who gives a damn? And you belittle that man. So what if he works at the post office? He's a postman. He has a job and he's trying. And if you were the helpmeet that you could be, you can work together and elevate one another. Simple. And lastly, and this really gonna hurt some of you sisters, and I'm sorry, but Auntie Angie gotta be honest with you, okay? And this is for especially some of you real delusional sisters out here, okay? There is a certain aesthetic, physical aesthetic, that certain men in a high caliber tax bracket wants. And I'm sorry, your aesthetic is not it. I'm sorry. There are men who roll in a certain circle of financial wealth and power, have a certain woman on their arm and what she looks like. And the majority, unfortunately, it ain't you. Now, I'm not telling you to settle, but what I'm telling you is you can hold out for for the black Don Juan if you want, honey, with all the money, wealth, and power. But you better come with it too. Physically, first and foremost, physically, because men they're sight driven first. Then second, you better be able to hold a conversation or know how to just sit down, be pretty, and shut the fuck. Either way, you better know how to play your position. But some of you not even savvy enough to know, once you have been in the presence of that type of man, how you need to operate and flow. Because some of those men, they don't want you telling them nothing. They don't want you to be nothing but a trophy piece. And then there are others who want you to add to their growth. But you don't even have a high school diploma, sis, or a college degree. He working on what? 3 PhDs? Can you spell PhD? Come on, black women. Coffee. You missing out. Because you would not go out on a coffee date? How do you know that man didn't own the coffee shop? Come on, sisters.
Okay, so imagine that you have a boyfriend that you are living with. But before this boyfriend that you were living with, you had another boyfriend who has been out of the country for some months. And while he was out of the country, you guys went on a break, you got a new boyfriend, you and the new boyfriend move in together. You and the new boyfriend have been living together for about 5 or 6 months, but you realize that you guys are not on the same trajectory. Where you're trying to go in life, the new boyfriend is not trying to go out in life. And while you really like and care about him, you understand that this is not going to be a long-term situation. So one day, your new boyfriend tells you that your old boyfriend is back from out of the country. He saw him out and about somewhere. Okay, this is cool. So you go out that weekend, and then you and the old boyfriend end up seeing each other. The chemistry is crazy, and you reconnect. And you are seeing the old boyfriend at the same time that you're seeing the new boyfriend. So eventually, the old boyfriend is going out of town again. And you decide that you want to meet up with the old boyfriend one last time before he goes out of town. And you tell the new boyfriend that you are going to see your friend who also lives out of town. So as you're getting ready to leave for the night, you realize that the new boyfriend is kind of clocking you. Clocking what you're doing, clocking what you're packing, hanging around in a way that he hasn't hung around before. And when you go to leave and you drive out of the city that you're in, you realize that the new boyfriend is following you out as you're driving out of the city. So you end up driving to the other side of town. The new boyfriend leaves, and then you go and you meet up with the old boyfriend. And you guys have one final rendezvous. The next morning, you get home, and the new boyfriend asks you how your night was. So you tell him, me and my girlfriend, we did X, Y, and Z. We hung out here, we went to there, we went blah, blah, blah. And the new boyfriend says, "Are you sure?" "Yeah, I'm sure." And he says, "Oh, okay. Because I checked the mileage on your car, and the mileage on your car shows that you didn't go out of town. Not enough miles on your car for that." "What?" You don't know what he's talking about. You're sticking to it. You're sticking to the story. So the new boyfriend calls your girlfriend. And mind you, this is ages ago where there used to be one phone for the household. So he calls the girlfriend, and the girlfriend's mom answers the phone. And the mom says, and you hear the boyfriend talking, and the boyfriend says, "Hey, did you see my girlfriend this weekend? This is her boyfriend. I'm just calling to see if you saw my girlfriend this weekend." You can't hear what's going on, but you know that the new boyfriend is talking to your friend's mom. The boyfriend hangs the phone up and turns to you and says, "Now what does she say?" What do you say?
The caption here says, "Homeboy used to always be one step ahead." It's not really one step ahead, it's just that he decided to do a little digging. See, most of the time, men just let y'all do whatever y'all want to do, so you actually think that you're getting away with stuff. But once again, like I be saying, men know what you're up to. Y'all are not as slick as you think you are. The man is just so focused on working and trying to provide for you that he really doesn't pop his head up to say, "Oh man, she's cheating on me. Something happened. As long as I'm getting fed, as long as you're taking care of me, I gotta go to work. I don't have time to be some investigative journalist. I gotta figure out how to provide for my family like they asked me to. Like I said that I would. I gotta figure out how to continue to make good on the promises that I made for my wife and kids. I'm not sitting up here watching soap operas thinking, maybe my woman would be doing that to me. That might be my woman doing something like that." But when a man decides to slow down and look at you with a keen eye, because remember, you guys continue to say that men are hunters. And most hunters, if they're good enough, know how to catch their prey. I'm just going to sit back and look at what you're up to. And then I'm going to catch you. You guys are not as slick as you think you are. And you put yourselves in a whole lot of danger.